You work, your partner works. Between you, 2 paychecks come in every month. More money than most families used to make. So why does it still feel tight? Most people have a list. Rent, groceries, child care, gas, all real, all correct. But here's the weird part. 2 incomes were supposed to fix all of that, and for a while, they actually did. Then, somehow, more money stopped feeling like more. The first thing nobody warned them about was the kids. When both parents go to work, someone has to watch them. That sounds obvious. What's less obvious is what it costs. Childcare used to cost a few $100s a month. Now it costs more than rent in most cities, which means for a lot of families, 1 full income goes straight into childcare, so both parents can go earn the 2 incomes they need to pay for childcare, which is a very expensive way to discover math. But childcare wasn't the only cost of both parents working. 2 jobs don't just change how much money comes in. They change how tired you are. Cooking becomes delivery. Errands become subscriptions. The weekend becomes recovery. 2 days to prepare for doing it all again. And the message people kept getting wasn't, you earn more now, save it. The message was, you earned this. 2 people spend differently. Nobody planned that part either. Congratulations, you now have 2 incomes and less free time than your parents had with 1. But here's where it really spread. Banks saw 2 paychecks and asked a different question. Not, are families doing better? Just, how much can they pay now? 2 incomes meant families could borrow more, so banks lent more, which turned out to be a very efficient way to take the second income before you even saw it. House prices went up. Not because houses got bigger, because families could now afford bigger loans. Banks looked at 2 paychecks and said, nice. House prices said, nice. The second paycheck said nothing. It was already gone. But more money didn't just change prices. It changed what normal looked like. And that one's harder to see because nobody sends out a memo when normal changes. Soccer became travel soccer. 1 activity became 3. Tutors showed up. Subscriptions showed up. Lawns got more serious about being lawns. Somewhere along the way, childhood got a calendar. Not because everyone suddenly changed. People just copy what feels normal. And normal quietly moved. Nobody sends out a memo when normal changes. You just wake up one day and somehow every kid has 3 activities and a travel bag with wheels. And keeping up with it quietly became a 2-income job. Turns out housing wasn't the only place this happened. Colleges eventually started doing the same thing. Tuition tripled in 30 years. Not because college got 3 times better, but because families could now borrow 3 times as much. Same move as the housing market, different building, which was great news for student loan departments. More money available, more gets priced in. The extra money doesn't stay extra for long. So here's the weird machine everyone accidentally built. 2 incomes showed up. Prices adjusted, landlords adjusted, lenders adjusted. Anyone who could charge more did. Nobody sat in a room and planned it. People just reacted. Turns out the economy notices spare money the way raccoons notice open trash cans. A generation later, 1 paycheck looked small, 2 looked normal. 2 incomes didn't fail. The economy adapted around them. Now, both incomes are the floor, not the upgrade. For a long time, the second income was the backup plan. 1 job kept things going. The other job was the card you still had left to play if something went wrong. Both incomes existed, but 1 stayed on the bench, just in case. Small problem. Once everything gets built around 2 incomes, you don't really have a backup anymore. Losing 1 income used to hurt. Now, losing 1 income can collapse the whole thing. Not because people got weaker, because the system got built around 2. The mortgage assumed 2. The child care assumed 2. The whole budget assumed 2. 1 job used to be enough to hold things together. Now, 1 job is what you lose first. So if you feel like you're running to stay still, you're not imagining it. One income used to buy a house, raise kids, save money. That same life now takes two, and sometimes still doesn't work out. The second paycheck wasn't kept. It was priced in. Two incomes became the minimum, and the minimum just got more expensive.
Isn't that amazing?